Hey ladies, so I just finished my workout and I was just thinking while I was working out, I wanted to share a few things with you guys. So I want to talk about how you start your day and just in general, even if you've been in this program for a little while, some things to just give you another like kickstart or head start towards reaching that next weight loss goal, or even if you're not looking to lose weight, but just how to stay in your healthiest state. Gosh, I'm hot. I was so sweaty, but now I'm hot. Okay, so I want to just share a little bit about your like gut health. So everything from like your stomach to the intestines to all of that. So as most of you probably know, you have bacteria in your gut, and there's good bacteria and bad bacteria. And that's kind of the whole point of like taking probiotics and prebiotics and things like that. If you don't know, probiotics is actually the bacteria, and then prebiotics is like the fiber that feeds the bacteria. So you can get that from healthy foods with lots of fiber, veggies and things like that. And then it's also, both of those are in Shakeology. But anyway, to talk a little bit about gut health and how to set yourself up for success, I want you to think about like you have like the good angel and then the little bad demon on your shoulder speaking to you, and they're in your gut, okay? Because when you, hey Christina, when you eat something healthy, like with lots of fiber, fruits and veggies, things like quinoa, good grains and stuff, the prebiotic fibers in those foods actually feed the good bacteria in your body. And when you feed the good bacteria, then the good bacteria gets hungrier for more. And so then you actually start craving the good stuff because that good bacteria starts reproducing, and all those little good bacteria babies want more good stuff. So you end up craving more good veggies and fruits and healthy food. But if you start your day with something like sugar, a donut, processed foods, those crappy oils, and just junk food in general, that actually feeds the bad bacteria in your gut. And so when that bad bacteria starts to get a taste of that stuff, it goes crazy and it starts reproducing even faster than the good bacteria would. And it starts becoming like that little monster on your shoulder, but in your gut, that goes, give me more, give me more, give me more. And if you start your day with that crappy stuff that feeds the bad bacteria, it's almost like you're gonna have to fight through all day long these little like fire ants swarming your body saying, give me more sugar, give me more junk food, give me more processed food. And so you might feel like, gosh, what's my problem? I can't do, Well, this is the thing. From your gut to your brain, there is the vagus nerve, okay? And that is what kind of controls your cravings or kind of sends the signal from your cravings. So as those little fire ant bad bacteria babies are going crazy in your gut from the sugar or whatever you dropped in there, it's gonna send a signal to your brain that literally says like, eat more sugar, you need more sugar, or processed food or junk food or whatever. And so especially breakfast. And I think breakfast is the easiest meal of the day to be successful with, because you can literally go to bed and think right before you fall asleep, and what am I going to eat for breakfast? Make a plan of what you're going to eat for breakfast. And if you usually like run out the door for breakfast and you're taking your kids somewhere and it's crazy, well, here's what you can do. Get a cup of raw oatmeal, or half a cup of raw oatmeal. You can either put it in a cup of almond milk or even a cup of water. I've been doing water, and it's a little different than overnight oats. You could do overnight oats, and there's a ton of recipes on Pinterest for those. But I just I soak the oats in a cup of water, and then they absorb the water, and you don't actually even have to cook them after that. It's almost like a muesli or a breakfast cereal. And then in the morning, I'll just throw fruit in there. I'll throw some nuts, some chia seeds, hemp, whatever in there. You could have it already. You could actually do a bunch of overnight oats and keep them in the refrigerator, so that if you have a morning where, oh my goodness, I didn't wake up to my alarm and now I've got to run out the door and I don't have time, you grab your overnight oats and you take them instead of stopping for a donut and coffee, right? Because that's gonna send those fire ants like crazy all over, send that signal to your brain, eat sugar, and all day long you're gonna have to fight it. And by the end of the day, you will have been fighting it the whole day, and you'll be so tired that eventually your willpower runs out, and there you go. Then you've sabotaged yourself. So breakfast, make it the first bite veggies. because that prebiotic fiber will feed your gut, and all the happy little angel bacteria are going to be like, oh, we love veggies, we love healthy food, we want to keep going, because they'll start to reproduce. So it's super important that whatever you eat first is healthy and good quality food. So on that note, also, Shakeology is a really easy, fast breakfast. You could have that ready. If you're running out the door, you could have one in your freezer. Take it with you. It's so hot right now. It's going to melt as you go, and you can just eat it like, frozen dessert or something throughout the day. I love to eat vegetables for breakfast. So I'll do, like if I'm doing my eggs on top of spinach or sweet potatoes, or spinach and sweet potatoes usually, broccoli, something like that. But all in all, I just want to say, like, breakfast, dial in, feed the good bacteria. And then the second thing is, as you go through this program, and people who have been doing this for a while will probably tell you, there are ways that you can basically have a silly treat that is not an FFC, and you might not see a weight gain on the scale the next day. And you might maintain, right? You might even lose if you have just a small silly treat. But let me tell you this, just be aware of your body's reaction to those silly treats, because some people can have a little silly treat and then they're still okay, they don't go crazy. But if you're the kind of person that has a silly treat and your bad bacteria goes nutso because there's still a lot of it there, like if you've been doing this for a long time and then you have a little silly treat, it's not that difficult. Like if I have like a little bit of frozen yogurt or something, I don't feel like crazy and then I go nutso and I just have to fall off the, veggie wagon and eat all the sugar, right? I tend to be more like that with chips and salsa. Like if I eat, especially something with like strong seasoning on it, if I eat a little bit of chips, like with those seasonings on it, my body's like, I want more. But anyway, if you're newer to this, there's a lot more bad bacteria in your system still that has to die off. So if you are like, well, I've done really good for a few days, I'm just gonna have one bite of this ice cream. Track it, write it down, but also track what happens in your mind and to your cravings after you have that, because chances are that if you still got a lot of bad bacteria in there, it's gonna like go crazy and send that signal up to your brain that you need more. And so the way to really be successful is give yourself time, let that bad stuff die off and see how good you feel. And then honestly, when you want a treat, choose something, not just a silly treat, but choose something purposeful. So for example, if you were to have like a Greek yogurt and you stir in a teaspoon of honey and you add some berries and cacao nibs and whatever, you're technically having a treat, and you've got that honey, which is not an FFC, it's a treat, but it's purposeful because you got the protein from the Greek yogurt, you've got the fruit, which is the FFCs, and so there's some more high quality nutrition there. Also, if you're like going to a birthday party and you were asked to bring a dozen cookies or something like that, go on Beachbody On Demand to the Fixate recipes and look up the Fixate chocolate chip cookies. Or if you're like confused on how to do that, go on Pinterest and search paleo chocolate chip cookies, or go on my Instagram and find the picture of the chocolate chip cookies where I only use 1 teaspoon of maple syrup for the whole batch. And then the sweetness is the chocolate chips, because that is a treat that's gonna be purposeful. I don't think she's awake yet, buddy. I don't hear her. You can look on the monitor. So whenever you're gonna have a treat, try to choose purposeful, because
I woke her up.
Silly treats are just going to sabotage you.
I woke her up.
Did you go in her room?
Sorry.
Okay, it sounds like she's awake. You can go see her now.
I see her.
Okay, go check on her. Anyway, so always thinking, try to be purposeful. Try to have fiber-filled carbs in your treats, not just straight up carbs. And even if you have a treat right after, try to get some protein, some veggies, lots of water, so that you're feeding the good bacteria and you're giving yourself a fighting chance. Because a lot of us, especially if you have had like a long-standing history of addiction to sugar and junk foods and stuff like that, like you got to feed that good stuff, because it's not just your poor willpower. It's kind of like this. Okay, and with my son coming, it made me think of this analogy. If you're sitting there quietly at your desk, studying and reading a book, there's no one in the house, no one interrupting you, and you're focused, it's a lot easier than if you are trying to study and you've got 16 kids and they're running in and they're like, Mom, I need this, I need that, I need a snack, I need my butt I need some lunch, I need some dinner, and they're throwing things and there's toys and craziness flying on all around you. That mom who was having trouble studying, you would never say, what's your problem? You would say, well, of course you're losing it. Of course you're having trouble. Of course that study session didn't get you anywhere because you had all that craziness going on. It's the same with your health. If you're feeding the good bacteria, you've got this peace, this calm, this settled strength within. If you're feeding the bad bacteria, it's going crazy. And it's not just you. It's not just like, what's wrong with you? You were born weak. It's not, okay? So I want you to start to be positive about yourself. Be realistic. Understand that you if you're somebody who really deals with those cravings, understand that you have a whole army of minions in your gut fighting against you, and you've got to give them a chance to die out and get them kicked out so that you can really thrive, okay? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope this was helpful. I really want you guys to be successful with this, and it's just going to be a learning process. It's going to be repopulating that gut bacteria. It's going to be, not just seeing how far can I go, how many silly treats can I have and still lose weight, because that isn't going to set you up for success long term, okay? You just have to start the day, good, healthy breakfast, then good, healthy lunch, good, healthy snacks, dinner and done, whatever you got to do. For me, I cannot do dinner and done unless I eat my dinner, go upstairs, brush my teeth, and put my retainer on. I have to do that because if I don't, my big struggle is that dinner and done piece. Like I start eating dinner and then it's just like I want to keep going. And on that note too, last thing I'll say is this. If you are doing a workout and you're pushing yourself really hard, and then at the very end of the workout, you're like so tired you can barely do anything else, and then someone came in and said, let's work out again, you'd probably be like, oh my gosh, I'm spent, I just can't, okay? Same thing with your willpower towards healthy eating through the day, okay? You've got to get stronger and stronger and stronger. You got to build that willpower muscle because the morning, like I said, usually pretty easy. You wake up, you don't have anything in your system yet, and you can choose to follow the little happy white angel on your right instead of the little, eat silly treats bad angel on your left because your willpower's strong. You're starting the day fresh. And then you move on to lunch. How many of you know by snack time, that's usually, afternoon when people start to feel a little weak, and that's because you've been working that willpower all day. And then you get to dinner, and that's why you've got to have a plan of how can I be dinner and done, because dinner is where you're like at the end of the workout and you've got to push through for that one more minute and be dinner and done. And you've got to find a way to like stick to that, because then if your husband comes in is like, let's have some ice cream and watch a movie, let's have some popcorn and relax, that's like someone coming in and saying, let's work out again right after you just worked out and you're just so tired. And it's easy at that point to fall off, not because you're weak, but because you're a human being who can't do workout after workout after workout after workout, and who maybe isn't strong enough yet to have the willpower for a full day. So think about that. Prepare yourself. Set yourself up for success. We've all been there. I've been there, and I've been eating this healthy lifestyle my whole life. Like, this is how I was raised as a child, and I still have to be intentional. So just know you will get stronger, but you've got to practice and you've got to build that muscle. And then once you're strong, you have to maintain that strength. Some people make the mistake of, well, I did this workout program and I got fit and now I'm good to go. I can relax. Or I ate really healthy, I've lost all this weight, and now I can just relax. Well, your health is not something that is permanent. It is something that takes constant maintenance, just like a garden. If you grew these beautiful vegetables and then you stopped watering them, they're gonna die. So start to plan for the long term. Make that mental shift of, this is my life and I'm worth it, because you're worth it. All right, you guys go and have a happy Wednesday. It's midweek. Start to make some plans for this weekend. Maybe set a goal. What is the next weight loss goal you wanna reach, whether it's 2 ounces down, 2 pounds down, or it's just a constant stream of steady, healthy choices to be your best self, okay? Love you guys.